Many black people are afraid to speak, in particular about the causes of some of the situations that perhaps have been integral to the black community in America, neglecting the cause and neglecting how the situation came about has been nothing more than a threat, perhaps, that was made to black people by white America, as it has been made to many civil rights activists who attempted to call the system out and attempted to point out the injustices and ultimately were priced at their livelihood. Today, we see America taking the same treatment, the same approach towards putting the black man under significant stress to avoid speaking in relation to any black circumstances or matters, to the point where, should the black man decide to speak up about the levels of exploitation that he's been experiencing, the masses in America or the jurisdiction has already agreed to label that as an offense to the system and an offense to society, to the point where they will label that black man and accuse him of the very same things that they have been inflicting upon him. And the black people as a collective need to understand this, that America it's a very tricky situation where there is so much going on. There is a massive burden amongst black people, which black people are being forced to conceal without actually providing a pressing argument for any of the circumstances that may be experienced. The first step America takes is the step that it's taken through many years. This involves a great deal of nothing new that you will find is backed up by science and research, and that is division within the black community and conquering the black community, and realizing that the black people as a collective were strong enough to overpower the white masses in America, to the point where black people were finally able to fight for their rights to merely walk, to merely talk, and to attend white-owned institutions. However, what you see now is the division and conquer, which involves dividing black communities and black families to the point where there is no plausible reason under the law to connect or relate, and to further colonize both of those divisions for the wealth and the objective of amassing gain. The strategy to take down the black people is rooted to the fact that we know that black people are physically capable of forming unions and unity, something that white America has noted as a threat, given their lack of control over black people during these situations. You will find that this practice is no longer physical, and instead it is a programmed practice, one that takes place through colonizing the image of the black man and indoctrinating everything that we need to know about the black man as far as white people are concerned, such as when a black man reports a incident and that incident involves a white person, the black man is the programming teaches that the black man is in no position to speak on the white person, given the white person's status and the white person's wealth and favor and privilege. And should the black man be seen speaking up with the white man, the black man who once upon a time at the hands of freedom fighters had to pay the price of livelihood, now pays the price of incarceration to the point where white people cannot take essential human dialogue and critical analysis, and are now imposing threats, incarceration threats onto black people who speak up based on their beliefs, despite enforcing a liberal society, a society in which people are free to believe and act in accordance to the law. You will find that the black people are stripped of liberty as far as white people are concerned, for as long as they are trained and indoctrinated to continue under the authority of the white system and the white institutions. The breakdown is one that needs to be studied, because it really does happen first amongst our own people who permit these white teachings into our black communities, despite the fact that these white teachings are not inherent to any cultural practices or beliefs that we have indoctrinated ourselves with. It is through these practices and these teachings that we develop a systematic belief that black people are in no position to speak. However, at any point when a white person comes to the equation and says the same things that the black people have been saying, which is, hey, this black person's been following me, or hey, this black person may be scary to me, that white person is seen as somebody who must be defended under the law by any means necessary, while the black person is seen as a threat, a criminal threat, and a potential incarceration threat. And this is the state that you'll find America in, that there is sadly no reason, there is no root, no cause, and no identity to the black man that has been completely blacked out from society, that has been blacked out from America. And I don't know how to further explain that, because it is truly a shame to witness such a individual who has actually imposed no method of violence despite being accused of violence, who was simply, in many cases, just trying to voice across an experience that perhaps was integral to him, given that in his circumstance he is raw and unique to the situation and just needed the adequate tools to solve the situation, which did not involve the white people who have already indoctrinated that black people are not to speak, that black people are not to have rights, but rather involved the intervention of a adequate black strong leader who is capable of taking these problems and truly providing an effective solution for them, rather than providing a white cap on the solution, which involves putting the black people behind white bars and putting the black people under white philosophy and forcing them to serve white societies, instead of teaching black people how to stand up like black people and gain the true health and adequate states that they are currently in. It is the sad attempt that America makes, which has devastated the black communities all the way from the north even to the south, and there has been no solution made by the white people to acknowledge this, and it is only until we as the black people grow a sense of acknowledgement within ourselves.